Hey, what's up? Good evening. I figured since I'm watching all you guys do palm videos, I might as well do my own. So I'm going to do a little yard tour, and I'm not nearly versed in palms as much as a lot of you guys are. Just kind of starting out. Bought this house last year, bought a pool. It's like, you know what? I like palms. Every time I go away, you know, there's palm trees everywhere, and it makes you think, you know, good things, and kind of gives you that island feel. It's kind of how I want to have my backyard feel, whether I'm in southern Ontario or not. So here we go. So yeah, I've got a bunch of Majesty palms kind of strewed about my backyard in pots that I bought at the beginning of this year. Super cheap. I'll probably just get rid of them at the end of the season just because a lot of them are sunburnt and I don't have anywhere to really store them inside. I stored a couple last year, brought them out way too early, sunburnt them, and they pretty well died. One of them, the spears died, and the other one is just hanging on by a thread. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of the pool. So I got a big, gigantic red banana in this pot here. This one I'm gonna try to bring in for the winter. Just cut it back, leave the first couple leaves, and just put it in some dry soil in a cool spot, probably in the basement. Hopefully it can come back next year. I might plant it in the ground next year. And then over here I got some agaves. I'm a big fan of agaves. I know they're not necessarily tropical, desert. This one was my first one. My son actually broke the spear off, you can see right here, earlier this year, and it broke about halfway. Unsurprisingly enough, it just continued to grow. These things are super hardy. This guy's generated one pup, but I think I got to change the soil because the soil's looking pretty rough. I had him inside over the winter, and I really should have probably repotted him into a bigger pot. Another smaller agave here. Again, the names, they escape me. I'm horrible with plant names, but anyway, I bought this one earlier this year as well. Just a annual tropical. I call them croutons. I don't know what the hell they're called, but anyway, that's what I call them. Continue over here. I got pinto palm in the ground. This is my pinto that I planted at the beginning of the spring. I'll come around and show you that in a second. A couple more agaves here. I bought this one last weekend, just at Jade Gardens, just outside of Milton. And I bought this one from a gentleman in Georgetown a little while ago. This one's actually got some pups growing out the side here. You can see. So 4 pups, so I gotta take them out, put them in their own pots, and then maybe repot this guy into a little bigger pot. Another Majesty palm over here, another crouton as I like to call them, sago palm. This one's actually in an indoor pot. I gotta really be careful when it's raining because the water will just get soaked. I usually put it in my gazebo, underneath the gazebo, which is over here. I'm gonna come back around. And yeah, so I just like to, my idea is, you know, I call myself the tropical wannabe, I guess. That was the name I came up with, just because although we're in southern Ontario, I want to make it look as tropical as possible. There's a couple more palms there. Another one over here. I'll show you kind of a wide angle from the back of my yard in a minute. There's my dog, Charlie. So that's the pinto palm I planted at the beginning of the spring. I actually brought it out in a pot, and I probably brought it out a bit too early, and I think it got some frost damage. The spear, as you can see, is kind of drooping, and it has grown. I did have a line here that I put down, probably I would say middle June. So it's grown maybe like 3-4 inches. It should have grown more than that, but I think it's just slow growing because of the frost damage. I'm hoping that next year, after the winter protection and that it'll start growing again a little quicker. I'm going to be getting a washi tomorrow. I think it's about a 7-gallon washi, so it might be a little bit smaller than the pinto. I might plant it right next to it here. So we'll go out over here, kind of show you a wide angle of the yard here. So that's kind of what it looks like. I'm happy with it. It's fun. I haven't grown anything from seeds yet. I plan to at some point, but it's just worrying about where to put them in the in the winter and whatnot. Anyway, that's my yard. When I get the washi, I'll probably update you, and we'll just go from there. All right, take care, guys.